What is up, guys? Spud here, and welcome to episode 30 of the Roundup. First of all, before we say what happened in this episode, thank you so much for getting to the episode 30 of the Roundup. I really appreciate all the support that we've had on every single episode. Whether we got 20 views or 230 views, it is really appreciated. So thank you very much. I love making these as a weekly thing. Most weeks, sorry. So yeah, massive thanks. Anyway, enough sob sorry. In this episode, Atlanta FaZe win Major 1 in the most crazy grand finals I've ever watched. Map 7, Game 7, Round 11, final map, and it was Atlanta FaZe that beat the Los Angeles Thieves to win Major 1, and it was just an amazing match to watch. It was such a good series. We're also going to be talking about Miami Heretics' super run to get to third place in this major. My prediction last year obviously was them to get top 4 in a major and get to a Champ Sunday. Um, and they did, but not last year. This year though, we're also going to be looking at OpTic struggles as they bow out top 8. A very poor showing from OpTic, who just couldn't do it in the hardpoint. They were really bad at hardpoint this weekend. I say this weekend, they were eliminated on Friday, but yeah, a really bad major from OpTic. And fans already saying, do they miss Pred? And also Seattle Surge, I said they'd either get top 12 or top 4. They got top 12, and I think a roster move is definitely on the way. So we will be looking at the winners and the losers of this major, and also our MVP ladder has drastically changed, as the majors have a massive impact on MVP, in my opinion, as they're more important than an online match. If you do enjoy this episode, please do like and subscribe. It is really appreciated. And if you are new as well, yeah, subscribe. I just said that. This is going to obviously be a bit of a longer episode than normal, just because of the fact that we are doing a major review. So we look into the matches a bit more. That's just a normal thing that we do. Okay, without further ado though, let's get straight into it. So, yeah, let's get straight into it. So obviously the first thing that happened in this, obviously we had to see the stage. The venue was really nice by the looks of it. And also, I just want to give a massive shout out to the Green Suits, who are like the ultra group for Gentle Merch, because they were making so much noise. Like, it was amazing to see. I think EU this weekend did show that EU COD, like EU events, have to be more common now because they are just genuinely really good. And yeah, let's hope that this isn't going to just be a one-off. Massive shout out to Koi and Ultra for putting this event on because it was really good to watch. We literally had the best grand finals in CDL history, probably. Because normally a grand finals, I mean, we've seen 5-0 Champs 23, 4-0 Major 3 last year for OpTic, 5-1. Was it 5-1 the final of Champs last year with OpTic? I think it was. I can't even remember. It's 5-1 or 5-2. It was one in the control though. I know that. But yeah, the stage was really nice. Obviously the only negative is that they weren't facing each other, but that was just, I don't know if that's going to be like, if it's going to be like that at Major 2, because that's when the trash talking starts at its peak. But yeah, really nice. Now, before we actually show you the matches, I wanted to show this. So there was a few interviews. Renko had a really emotional interview saying like this is what he dreamed of when he was growing up to be like professional in these type of esports games. After Heretics pulled off another really good win. Obviously, Draza saying fuck everyone or something like that. But this was the best interview. So obviously the host was obviously, because it was in Spain. It was this guy called Uli, who was Spanish, and this reaction this interview with Hydra was just comedy. Just listen to this chat. We're not streaming. I say chat all the time, viewers.
Wait, these people is amazing. They're cheating for you every single time. But first of all, welcome to Madrid after dominating this last map. Are you willing to taste any Spanish tapas? Wait, what? Are you willing to taste any Spanish tapas? Because after this map, you must be hungry. The Spanish? Wait, these people.
He couldn't understand him. That did make me laugh. Oh my god, that did make me laugh a lot. Yeah, he was good though, a really good host. If there's any more events in Madrid next year, hopefully he will be there. Um, as well, I'm just going to say this now before we actually round up these matches. Um, we are going to do prediction. We're not going to have an episode next week. I think next week, and then the week after that will be obviously leading up to the Major 2 split. That's when we will do the next episode, unless there's any like dramatic Rostermania moves in the next 5 days. So, first match of the Major was Boston Breach versus Atlanta FaZe, and this was a pretty dominant 3-0 win here for FaZe. Everyone played well on the FaZe side. No one played well on the other side. Purge with a .6. Not ideal. Just overall, how, by the way, FaZe were really good. Obviously, they won the event. Everyone played well on FaZe's side. I think any of them could have been MVP. We're going to talk about the MVP thing, though, after we've talked about the Thieves versus FaZe grand final. So, yeah, that's something that we'll talk about after. But, yeah, pretty dominant start here. Not really, like, too much to round up, except that FaZe slammed them. Then we had Ultra versus Surge. Now, I was going into this series expecting a shock. Yeah, apart from the round 11, this was very, apart from the search show, this was very one-sided. I mean, Hixie and Nasty really struggled here. On the other side, Kleenex had a very good series, so did Jordan Saves. The SMGs are just better on Ultra's team than they are on Surge's. It's pretty simple. We're going to watch this round 11, though.
Land no force like I can see you.
Just hoping now that Inside on his pinch can get something done. You know that 04 is roaming through top secret. Inside gonna go all the way around. He's gonna be led with a gunfight and wins it versus Sabuza. 30 seconds.
Massive win that now rechanges the focus on what's happening on the site. Nasty 04 up top. Hixie behind the play. Shots start to come through, but no tags. Nasty has to re-clear out Tin with that gunfight win from Insight. So a lot of confusion here for the Vancouver retake. They're going to opt to go around the back, clear out Tin, then hit this from the front side of the play. Just down to can they find the next piece of contact because Ultra are just staying covered. Time is ticking. First shot's good from Kleenex. Activated now with beams around the back. Doesn't need to come through. Ultra cleans things up to the blink of an eye.
Really nice play there from Kleenex and from Insight there to win that map and ultimately win the series, but yeah, I was surprised Surge were this poor because obviously I thought this would go to a game 5. I didn't expect them to get 3-0'd, but obviously that happened and yeah, they didn't really play very well. Then we had the Ravens versus the Thieves, and all I'm going to say on this was how good did LA Thieves look on Hardpoint? 47 to 250 and 66 to 250. Absolutely unbelievable dominance on them respawns from the Thieves. If we look at the stats here, I mean, Scrap obviously with the 1.5 is pretty good, but everyone played well. Except Hydra obviously did have a bit of a. He did okay, but Hydra's kind of been the person everyone's been talking about. Sorry, I really need to sneeze. Do I? I don't know. It'll come. Now we need to give Vivid some credit because Vivid, they did the walk-ons for Ravens, and Vivid looked like he had a really swollen eye. Turns out he had some sort of infection, but by the time that Ravens finished the tournament, you could definitely see that he looked a lot better than he did when they played this series. So he was kind of playing with like with one eye here. But yeah, Scrap got the MVP, and that's understandable. He got the most damage and the most kills in the lobby. But yeah, not the series that Ravens would have wanted. That's for sure. It's going to do this a second. About that. Just realised it was obviously slightly off. But yeah, honestly, like I was watching these hardpoint. Let's actually just look quickly, right? Like Scrap's obviously been known for being shit at Hacienda, and then he does a 23 and 9. And then the map 4 Envoy went 23 and 10. Like we obviously I was watching Scump's Watch Party. And they had Nade Shot on for that series. Obviously Nade Shot is obviously the Thieves, co-owner of Thieves, so yeah, he was very happy. Right, now moving on to the last match of winners round 1, and this one was sad. OpTic Texas. lose 3-2 to the Heretics. And I mean, that Hardpoint and Skyline was crazy. OpTic almost brought it back. If we look at the stats here, Real was the only player that went positive on the Heretics. On the other side, Dashing Hugh played well, but Kenny and Shotzi didn't really play that well. I'm going to show you the end of this map 4, but it was just an absolute crazy, crazy map.
Take him down, only 2 needed here at Kitchen. Numbers should be, I mean, while it's here for OpTic, you get the close spawns, but Real is peeling heads. But it doesn't matter, there's just always one more player here in Green, finding kills, staying alive.
You gotta be perfect if you're OpTic Texas. So far, so good. We're going deep into this one. Dashy leading the way at 33.
Yeah, you're starting to sweat right now. If you are Miami Heretics, you are feeling the pressure. A loss here, you lose the series, you're into the loser's bracket. But can you get it to a map?
Just gotta hit a stun, right? That's really it.
Can they connect on something? The green wall not giving it up. Hoop trying to take out 2. He somehow stayed up. Now just need to pull the win for OpTic somehow. Are they going to do this from the depths? OpTic are up. They're looking to take the map. They're looking to close the series. It may be enough. The tick not there. Oh, it is. I thought he contested, but instantly.
He definitely did contest, but he died anyway. I tell you what, I thought OpTic were going to win that in the end, but Miami managed to break right at the end to win that. And yeah, fair play to Miami, they deserved the win. OpTic's hard points were not really that good. But after they lost, I thought, right, well, they're not winning the major. No, let's be honest, they're not winning the major, but let's see what they can do from a loser's run. Anyway, oh, what can I say about this Vegas Falcons performance? I can't even speak. It should have been, oh my God. Right, Falcons should have won the last round of Control, and they were 5-1 up in Search and Destroy. And they lose.
Looking for some sort of an exit, but can't find the connection, and Nate has kept him safe.
I thought Slash was going to come up behind him, potentially catch a couple freebies, but he's going to play the deep pinch. He's relying on a double stack setup in towards the site. Vegas trying to approach a pull.
Trophy, though, denying the opening Semtex. Shots back and forth, not going to lead to any entryway. Here comes Gwyn on the long pincher on the backside. He can try to watch this. Vivid from the front is good. He's on 4 in a row. There's Gwyn's pinch. Uh-oh, not like this. From 5-1 to a round 5 winner.
They've crumbled. And then I'll quickly show you this as well. Honestly, it should have been 2-1. This was Falcons' chance to win a series and for it to be on LAN as well. I genuinely thought that they should have been 2-1 up, and I think they could have won this by a Neslaw.
A little bit of mid-map pressure here from the main.
Second player making their move on. Slash to get the trophy system down. Second take of progress looking good. It's also an 8v3. Vegas' hopes of staying alive in Madrid starting to crumble. Roxas has to jump off the balcony and he runs right into the joining arm.
Right, they didn't win a single hardpoint map in the entire split, and they didn't win a series. Honestly, they're not making champs unless they start bringing players that aren't from Saudi in. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, but it's the case. They're not gonna. They can improve, yes, of course, but they're not going to win a series. That was their chance, and they crumble. Good series though, but annoying. Right, now this one shocked me. Minnesota Rocker beating Surge 3-1. I did not see Surge getting top 12. I mean, I said it would either be top 12 or top 4. Massive shout to G, although he had a really good series. On the other side, no one really played well, but obviously we're going to talk about Hixie and that's Nasty again, because they weren't really getting the damage in. 66 kills from Hixie in a 4-map series is not really ideal. Look, I like Hixie. I do. I think he's, I've watched his streams when he used to stream last year, when he was in the UK. I think he deserves to be on a CDL team after what he did with Toronto Ultra in Modern Warfare 2, but the Call of Duty League is all about current performance to stay in the team. Esports is like that. I think he could lose his spot. Now, I don't know who'd replace him, but I'd be very surprised if Hixie's there in a couple of weeks. But there hasn't been any roster moves at all yet, so we'll have to see what happens. Anyway, then we had this series. Now, this was a brilliant series. Again, no, OpTic couldn't win a hard point. The Mates fans were going crazy for this series, but it was an OpTic win 3-2. Gentlemates finished top 12. Everyone played well on that mate side, but honestly, I know people will talk about a roster change, but I don't think they will need to make a roster change. On the other side, yeah, Shotzi did alright. Dash had a bit of a rough series, but I'm just going to show you the last round of this Search and Destroy. But yeah, honestly, this was such a close series. OpTic. After they won this, I thought, right, is this the momentum they need? Clearly not.
LAG trying to do the unthinkable by going up 2-0 versus the #1 seed. Backs against the wall in this tournament already, but it's already a hit right through pool, straight on for Planet A.
Yeah, OpTic just sent it. They said, all right, we're not wasting any more time. They've given up a bomb site the entire time, so let's just get it down.
Once more, focus for LAG, trying to come through the middle of the map. Dashy for the first. Slips away, no trade immediately there. Hook following up on the pinch, caught by surprise by Kismet. There may be contact down here. Dashy's gotta go, he's gotta go quick.
Gotta help your team. Thankfully, Kenny wins that one-on-one on the pins versus Kismet. Dashy eventually spawns on in, but it's a 1v1, 20 seconds.
Shotzi up top. Ah, he's gonna get caught on sprint. Shotzi just holds his ground. And OpTic, the fans in the pit start to get through, and they look straight up to the bleachers.
I love that the fans in the seating area at the front start like pointing and that taunting to the Gentlemates crowd. That's what honestly it was amazing. The atmosphere was just it was class. Now I wish I'd went, but I didn't. Hopefully next year. Maybe next year. But yeah, that was a really good series in general. That and you know what, the Gentlemates fans, they stayed around. They were there on the Thursday before they played. They were there after. Brilliant, and hopefully they'll be there for events in North America, but I don't know if that'll happen. Then we had Cloud9 versus Boston Breach, and I actually predicted Boston to win this when we did our roundup last week, but then I actually changed my mind on the day and I actually went with Cloud9, and they did win. It was a very good series to watch. Sib had himself a series. He's not looked the same player all season until this series. Cammy, though, has had a rough couple of series. Could he potentially be on the chopping block? I don't see Boston making a change, but you never know. I'm going to show you the end of this hardpoint map here, where Breach did start off really well, but Cloud9 did bring it back.
For the win, still 7-4 Boston Breach. You need insane hold. It's this guy that busted it wide open with the pick and then the backspawn for his team the first time through here at P3. We'll see if Snoopy can do it again. He's looking to hit it with Purge. The subs looking to go. There's the first opening. The slide is just built. As he gets a second, the movement looks so clean.
Spawns are
Leads to
still
a
there.
kill as well.
Spawns are there for Cloud9.
But yes, where you got the spawns and hope they go smoothly, it doesn't for Boston Breach. It's not enough to disrupt the setup. Now 13 for the victory is Cloud9 New York. Boston Breach starting to sweat. Joe saying, oh boys, he's feeling it with another multi from Snoopy. The slide simply too strong. There's the break in. One does spawn in the back.
Oh no.
Maybe a chance to do it. A double from Trip might do it, but it won't happen. Boston Breach get just enough.
Massive shout out to Snoopy here. Obviously, the 2-piece that he gets, he gets one before he rappels up, and then obviously that kill on Sib wins him the map. But Cloud9 do get the Neslaw. There was quite a few Neslaws this weekend. And yeah, well done to Cloud9. Obviously, I think that was a really, really important win for them. And Boston Breach go home in top 12. Interesting thought. People might start debating, are they another online team? Boston Breach are known for kind of being onliners. They obviously got top 4 in MW2 an event, but... Then we had Carolina Royal Ravens versus OpTic, and OpTic's race was run here. TJ Halley, of course, having another legacy series against the Green Wall. OpTic finally win a hard point, but it's the most scrappy ending I've ever seen. I'm just going to say it straight up. I don't think anyone played well on OpTic. I know Hugh got a 1.05, but Dashy had a pretty poor series again. Kenny had an underwhelming series, and Shotzi didn't play very well. For all the talk that they had, Shotzi especially, sorry, they did not perform at this major OpTic. People might say, oh, is this because Pred's not there? No, because Hugh played well. But, yeah, this was a very disappointing weekend for OpTic, and hopefully they'll be able to turn it around going into the second split. I mean, even after the loss to Miami, I didn't expect them to win the event, but I think getting to Championship Sunday for a team of OpTic's calibre should be at least the minimum. Not top 8, but massive credit and well done two Ravens, especially Vivid, obviously, coming back after that eye infection that he had. I'm going to show you the end of map 1 though, because it was pretty crazy.
Back into the point he goes. Open hardpoint, no one on the time. Shotsy in the 1v1. Wins it. Holds down the time. They can not win it here.
This is the hill. It always comes down to P4 and TJ already that entry sub. The most difficult one to break in this game. Carolina trying to hit through the front.
Through the front. Line them up. Dashy v Teach. Crossfire's in. OpTic are holding it all together.
And now you're just waiting. Gwen knows you get one opportunity for this break. It is a nail biter. It is a photo finish. Here we go.
Can he identify the attack? The one. Can he get the second? Pressure now through the other side, through Spiral. The clock ticking. OpTic within 10 for the win. Over to Dashy. Holding them back. Shotsy keeping them close. It's Big Bruce. It's Big Bruce and Shotsy. What a win. OpTic don't let the come.
And to be honest, after that I thought they finally won a hard, they're going to win this series, and then they just fucking didn't. Like, yeah, they need to work on this for Major 2, but no one's saying that they should make a roster change on it. I mean, some OpTic fans will want Pred back, but that's just not going to happen. Anyway, then we move on to Saturday's matches. And we start with Rocker versus Cloud9. Now, I had Cloud9 winning this, but it was a very, very close series. But there's actually no highlights, which is a shame. But yeah, really close. Obviously, map 1 on that red card, Rocker do manage to hold on and get the win. It was obviously that P3 where it's in like the back. It's like the garage bit. That was a major play in keeping Cloud9 spawn there. Then we had a Vault round 11, which was just absolutely massive. Cloud9 though were I think they were up like 5-1, a bit like Falcons. And then Control was won by Cloud9 to try and go for a reverse sweep, but then the Hardpoint was ultimately won by the Rocker. And if we look at the stats, Estrel and Geo again played really well here. On the other side, the Attach had a pretty rough series, so did Mac. Obviously, Mac actually had an injury. So when they did their walk-on for the first match, Mac wasn't there, and there was just 3 players. So he's basically hurt his knee playing basketball with Sib. Not ideal. I hope there's highlights for the other games, because I haven't actually got anything. Right, there isn't. Hopefully there is for Champ Sunday at least. Otherwise, I'll have to get some. I'll have to go on YouTube and obviously get that for you. So yeah, we had here LA Thieves versus Heretics, and this was won 3-0 by Thieves in winners round 2. Yeah, pretty dominant. I mean, the maps weren't too close, but if you look at the actual gun, like the firepower, it was obviously more dominant by the Thieves. Everyone went positive, whereas everyone went negative on the other side. Metals did have a bit of a rough series here, as Heretics go to lower bracket and Thieves find themselves in winners finals. Then we had Toronto Ultra versus FaZe. Now, I expected this to be a close series. I did not expect 3-0 FaZe, let me tell you. Celium played really well here. I mean, everyone did fine on the FaZe side. Joe Deceives had a bit of a rough map, but then again, apart from that, I don't think anyone played too bad on the Ultra side. But I thought Ultra were going to win map 1. I mean, it came down to FaZe being on the hard point and then jumping off when they took the lead in order to win the map. One of the closest hard points I think we've seen. Unfortunately, though, I don't have a clip for it. I don't understand. Did Breaking Point just forget to upload Saturday's matches? And then we had Heretics versus Rocker, which was obviously whoever won got to Champ Sunday. And this was one of my favourite series of the entire season. We had 2 round 11s, a round 5 in Control. Absolute cinema. And it was won by the Miami Heretics. Rencor with a massive performance here in his first CDL LAN, and that's when he obviously had that interview after getting a bit emotional, how happy he was to get here, and stuff like that. But if we look at these stats, I mean, their first hardpoint was pretty dominant from the Heretics, whereas the second one was dominated by the Rocker. Metals had a really nice search and destroy to end. Now, Paul X is another person that's kind of been going, is he going to stay on the, like, Paul X was another person on the chopping block. He started off really poor in this major, but then I think he brought it back pretty well. Will they replace? I think he could still get replaced, but I think he might have kept himself in a spot for now, but we'll have to obviously see on that. I'm just gonna... No, we'll just do this first. And then we had this match. Now, this was a shock, I think. Toronto Ultra lose 3-2 to the Carolina Royal Ravens. They almost do a reverse sweep, but they're not able to. Beans goes off with a 1.2, but again, that's not enough to win the series because TJ Halley's playing for the other team. And TJ Halley, just in general, was just absolutely unbelievable this weekend. And yeah, Carolina Royal Ravens, I predicted them to get to a championship Sunday last season when they had Clayster and Felor. Never happened, and they've actually done it in their first major this season. So we had Miami Heretics and Carolina Royal Ravens in Champ Sunday. That's pretty good. And it was a very close series, but it was won by the Miami Heretics. This was an amazing series. 3-1 to the Heretics. Like, the highlights are here for Sunday. They just forgot to do them for Saturday. That is fine. Lucky had a really good series. Now, there was actually some debate on Twitter about should Lucky be dropped. No. Now, Lucky is their in-game leader. And he's not even a bad player. But the talk of him potentially, like, could he lose his spot? No. I think he's probably the most secure out of everyone. Him and Real are probably the most secure because obviously Miami Heretics did get offered $60,000 for Real by the Toronto Ultra in the off-season and they rejected it. Anyway, we're going to watch the end of map 1 here.
Carolina, that is the moment they get the 3 down and he forced those spawn trap blunder spawns. Pin him back, got him down and slasher for 2 again.
Holding on to the point. Ravens not out of the fight yet. 225 and climbing. One good break, Miami.
And Heretics are making decisions. They're sending metals on a route. Are you squaring up for the break? You're hitting it from all angles. Can't be too quick. Lucky's going to get picked before the play starts.
Steel keeping the time. Here comes another one. Can Gwyn hold his nerve? Close range. Gwyn can't get any more. Slashing out, pushing out. 5 seconds. Oh, they're off the point for the win. Heretics, Miami are in. Vivid to save the map. Forward he goes. Open time. Gwyn is in. Real gets it. 5 for the win. Real holding it on. Lucky gets the final kill.
I want to give a massive shout out to Real as well. He had a really good major here, and obviously he was really good when he first was on that Heretics team last year, but then when it came to LAN, he did drop off a lot, but he was really good this weekend. I like this Heretics team. I can't believe I said I didn't think they were going to make champs. I mean, they're already going to have, like, a ridiculous amount of CDL points now from getting a top 3 finish. Look, it's way too... Except Falcons, we don't know who else is going to actually not make champs. I think it's too early to actually tell. And unless Falcons have a massive roster change where they end up signing, like, some big players. Imagine if they went and picked up Pred, for example. Could get interesting. But yeah, massive credit to Heretics for getting to... top 3 and massive, and well done to Ravens as well, top 4 as well, especially because they had 3.5 players to start with, seeing as Vivid could only see out of one eye properly. But oh my god, the drama starts. The drama starts. FaZe reverse sweep the Los Angeles Thieves. Oh my word. A great start from the Thieves. Scrap was chirping up, and then FaZe managed to win the round 5 on Hacienda in the control, and then they do this in the hard point.
He pushes it out. Envoy wins one to front. Scrap to reinforce. That's all 4 dead. And now you're searching for the victory if you are LAT. 20 needed for them, but here comes FaZe again.
Is that going to be a mistake? Maybe trying to push too far forward if you are Hydra. He's going to be the first one dead, but close spawn. Here we go. Celium to find the first. Here comes the reinforcements for FaZe. 10 seconds needed. 12 seconds on the other side. Ghost is going to take you down, and at the rock, who is it? Simp once again.
Multi-kill demon. dropping the point for the win. One of those is the team kill, and then Cell's able to make you pay. You're trying to contest, but the contest not long enough. They've got the tick. They should have the win. It's the 250. We're going to a map.
Really good there from Celium and Core. Now, Simp obviously got the MVP for this series, which is understandable. But yeah, we're gonna have to watch the last round. Like, the fact that the winners final went to a map 5 round 11 and the grand final went to a map 7 round 11. I don't actually understand how that has happened. Like, that is ridiculous.
Oh lordy, here we go, round 11. Gong is in. Oh, wait, what?
Yeah, I have to talk about this first. Ghosty and Draza died from Team Nerds. I don't really understand what happened if the Nerds collided. No one actually knows. It's crazy.
What? Okay, 3v3. We'll look at that later.
I have no idea.
I don't either, Joe.
But look, they have a bomb site control. BZ's an A. Well, they jump down to this. What's the timing like?
Oh my God!
Bomb is down as well.
What in the hell is going on? They're starting to send it forward. They can isolate this in the 2 versus 2. They're able to pick him up. Amizi is going to drop, trying to get back towards Bomb, but Simp is able to catch one. It's all on Scrap. 1 versus 2. Scrap just hoping he can get a 3 pick. Get down to a 1 versus 1. He didn't get eyes on the second player. Able to win 1, but Cell has got the trade. Atlanta FaZe reverse sweep. They move on to the grand final. Oh lordy.
Massive credit. Well done to FaZe for getting to the grand final there with a reverse sweep. It's obviously very sweet. And especially Scrap Draza. Obviously, Scrap's been known for owning Draza in recent times. And let's just say that the beef did not stop there. This was after the first series against them.
At the end of the match. Whoops.
Wow. Now, if you didn't think it was real, people at home, it's real. You can feel the...
So Scrap puts his fist out and Draza does not interact. So then we had Thieves versus Heretics. Look, I expected Thieves to win this. And they did pretty comfortably. Rencor did have a bit of a rough series, so did Metals, and well done to Thieves, obviously, for getting to this, to winning this one 3-0. Envoy had himself a very nice series, as did Hydra, and I think Hydra needed that confidence going into the FaZe rematch. But let's just give credit to Heretics. Heretics where it's due. Top 3 finish is very, very respectable. So, that is all the matches, apart from the grand final. Now, the grand final was obviously going to be the main part of this episode because it was absolute cinema. I really hope they've got the highlights. They have. I didn't think they were going to load there. Atlanta FaZe, kind of with a Neslo here because they didn't win any hard points. 3 search and destroys and a control. Search and destroy wins your championships, as they say. Well done though, FaZe here with a 4-3 round 11 dub. It's just crazy. Let's have a look at the stats. So Celium here was the best player, but I have to give massive credit to Draza and Abizi as well, and Simp, just all of them. I think all of them deserve to be MVP for this event, but for this series it was given to Celium. Ghosty and Hydra had a bit of a rough series. Do you know what? Envoy didn't play well either. Look at the damage. Scrap played well. But Draza's 3-piece, when it was 4-4 on that final map, was absolutely magnificent. And yeah, well done to FaZe. So, the first map, we have to obviously start with a massive comeback from LA Thieves. We couldn't just have a normal Champ Sunday grand final. We couldn't have a normal one. This one had to be even better.
Thread the needle. Oh my, nearly. Celium wins it. And he does that with the AR. Atlanta FaZe have the left side spawns, but a battle inside at a time. They drop them. Atlanta here first, but obviously it is coming down to this hill. Either team can win it. You're setting up for the break. Trades all over the map.
It's a pinch now for a moment. Scraps through the back. Tags into a beast. He's down and out. Can we clear up the fences? It's easy pickings now. The FaZe boys are down. Thieves are in. 10 for the win.
And there's nowhere to go. You gotta hit through the front.
Finding the kills all over the place. Tomboy Scrap. 5 for the win. There's the last man down.
The crowd were amazing. So yeah, the Gentlemates Ultras, the green suits, they actually decided to cheer on the LA Thieves because obviously Hydra's French. I will say though, a lot of pros, Draza, Shotzi, were saying how much they love the EU crowd and how loud it was, and you know, obviously they want to do more events in the EU. I think they will. Then FaZe do take the map 2 and the map 3. They do win this map 3 with 0.8 seconds to go, which is pretty crazy. We actually will watch this ending here of this Hacienda control.
We're in the zone. Nearly get in there for the contest. Ghosty wins it. Celium, last man left alive. Can he do something unbelievable now? Contest. Come win it. Scrap. Unbelievable. Sim now picks it up on the contest as well. The last lives. And FaZe got the LA Thieves on the zone.
And of course, Draza having to start to chirp up to the crowd. He was amazing this weekend. You know, he's allowed to do that. Obviously, he's a great player. And yeah. Right. Let's go to that last map. Let's just start from this round here. This is round 8.
And has managed to elude FaZe for now. Here's the plan. All right, Dan, what's the play? You are working with no information whatsoever. FaZe, overwhelming numbers. That's the problem. Celium will make short work of this round.
He's protecting the 4th Street. Oh, he is not. Wow. I thought for a brief moment he...
Nice play there from FaZe. Calm and composed. Now, this is the 3-piece I'm talking about from Draza. This was really, really, really good.
And they're going underground. And there's an RC car. We are zipping right now.
Yeah, down low. Wait, it's a read. It's a read.
They got a first blood. That's all they needed.
The back pedal. Hydra, rear security.
Ghosty's driving too. He has prevented this bomb plant. Man advantage. Oh, look at that find! Draza again!
Draza! 3! The ace not, but his teammates there for the trade.
If Draza got the ace there, that would have been one of the best aces I've ever seen. Now, obviously, Ghosty was on the
Ghosty's driving too. He is
obviously, Ghosty was on the RC car here. So obviously Draza had a free pickup on him, but obviously he was in like quite an open place to have done that car, to be honest. And then who is that? That's Scrap. And then obviously Scrap isn't even watching that area, doesn't have time to react. And then Draza obviously knows that Envoy and Hydra, or at least one of them, is still probably underground, and he just waits because he expects him to come up there and rappel up, and he manages to take Envoy out, but isn't able to get Hydra. But obviously then the job's done. So a really good play there from FaZe to get to a championship point. But LA Thieves were not done just yet.
Going to give away his position whatsoever. This is it. Scrap, first blood. Hydra versus Draza. Hydra wins. It's the makings of a round 11. All the way.
I think it's what the crowd deserved and the viewers deserved. This is what the Call of Duty League is meant to be about. It's meant to be about close finals, not these 5-0s, 4-0s. Yeah, it's nice when OpTic gets the wins, obviously, but you want to see competitive finals. But especially with all the drama between, Scruff and Draza, I just thought this being the final round was just, it was cinema. And this is what happened. Obviously, FaZe won.
Look at number 6. Look at Hydra.
Abisi's trying to clear our kitchen. Here comes the first dagger. Hydra down. Ghosty by the top spot. Scrap there to reinforce. Bomb still in the hands of Envoy. Scrap versus Sim. Looking for a trade. No one finds a thing. Envoy finally takes over the bomb site, and there's the plant.
Oh my God, here they go.
FaZe, read it. FaZe. It's an execution. They've taken over the A-bomb.
And they're reading the flank too. Scrap delivers.
It's an immediate jump, and it's brains, not brawn. The get FaZe the win! You can take your superstars all the way to the final moment.
What the fuck? Simp says. Yeah, that was amazing. A 1v1 would have been even better. It would have been literally the best moment ever. But yeah, well done to FaZe. And then yeah, Scrap and Draza had their rematch after the game. Let's just watch it here. Let me make sure that's turned up a bit.
The best series I've ever watched. He said, your ass, your ass.
Oh, shit.
They actually had to get like people from FaZe's staff and Shane as well, having to try and like split them up.
Oh, God, it must suck losing.
Oh my god. The best.
Well, we need to definitely see this at Champs. There's no denying it. There is no denying it. But what an event that was. Out of 10, I'm going to give the Toronto, the Major 1 in Madrid, hosted by Koi in Toronto. I'd give it, I'm going to have to give it a 9.5 out of 10. The reason it's not a 10 is because OpTic didn't do well. No, it was brilliant. 10 out of 10. Brilliant event, and hopefully there's more of that to come in this season. Right, winners and losers. It is time for the winners and losers. Obviously, we do this segment every time that there's a major. We will tend to do our winners and losers. We don't do them for the minor tournaments because it's only online and it's just minor tournaments. It doesn't have an impact. So winners, FaZe. Obviously, they won the event. There's no denying that they're definitely one of the winners of this week. They played really well and deserve to win. And also Miami Heretics and Carolina Royal Ravens, I think, are also winners to get to Champs Sunday, especially Miami. Top 3 is very good. No one really saw that coming. The losers of the major are OpTic. Top 8 is unacceptable. Boston Breach, because I think the hopes of them coming into this tournament were they were going to do pretty well. And Vancouver Surge, I think. Could have also said Toronto Ultra as well, but I'm going to give them. I'm not going to include them because top 6 still isn't terrible, really. But they want to be getting top 4, let's be honest. So, obviously no predictions. So now we're going to talk about the MVP stuff. So before we do the MVP ladder, MVP was given to Simp at this major. I believe this should have been given to Celium, or maybe even Draza, or even Abizi. It could have gone to anyone from FaZe, but I would have went for Celium personally. Now I know Abizi obviously won minor 1 MVP, but I think this should have been Celium's. And obviously this is going to have an impact on the MVP ladder, as there is a new entrant in the MVP ladder, and also player going up and a player going down. So, first of all, let me know who you think should have been MVP. By the way, if Thieves had won the event, MVP would have been going to Scrap, in my opinion. But there is still no place for Scrap just yet on the MVP ladder. Because I know OpTic played bad, but I still don't believe that this player should be taken off the top 3 just yet. But it obviously does have an impact. So this is my MVP ladder after week 6. Now, most weeks it's not going to change as much. It's just because it was a major. Obviously, that has a major impact, no pun intended, on the MVP race. So, Celium is now up to number 1. He was number 3 last week. He's now number 1 because I think he should have been MVP. Abizi, who was probably number 4 before this weekend, is now number 2. I think I said he was number 4, but I can't actually remember. And I've put Dashi down to number 3 because he obviously had quite a bad event, but he was number 1 before that. So that is my top 3 now. I think it's pretty... But at this moment in time, I think Celium will keep that spot for the next few weeks, unless something... I mean, the minor tournament obviously has an impact on the MVP ladder. But I'm going to go with... this is my top 3. I will say 4th and 5th are... my 4th and 5th choice are definitely Scrap and Simp now. I do think the major does have quite a big impact. So, like, Shotzi's probably down to, like, number 6 or number 7 now. Just because there's only 4 majors, and I think these are the moments that give you that MVP. So, obviously, Simp won MVP last year, and obviously they did win a major where he got MVP for that, I believe. And then also you got to remember that Hydra won MVP a couple of seasons ago. He did get 2. He obviously won 2 events before champs of NYSL. So yeah, don't expect every week that there's going to be loads of changes to MVP. It just like, so for this moment in time, for me, Celium is number 1 now. Like, I don't think that's going to change for the next couple of weeks. But everyone else could change, obviously. I would say there's probably like 6 or 7 players fighting for 2nd and 3rd at the moment. So that could change, but don't expect it to change all the time. So yeah, Celium, Abizi, Dashi, Scrap and Simp. And I know Simp just got an MVP and I'm putting him 5th, but I actually don't think he's been as good as previous seasons until this event. And I don't even think he should have been MVP. So, that is the end of this episode of the Roundup. Obviously, it was a bit of a longer one because we were doing our Major 1 Roundup. Let me know what you guys thought down below of this event. And yeah, obviously, in a couple of weeks, we start all over again for Major 2. Online qualifiers begin. So there won't be an episode next week unless there's some dramatic roster changes. It's most likely going to be 2 weeks' time, and then we'll do obviously the episode with our predictions and any news in the Call of Duty scene. And if there's any Counter-Strike news or any other esports that I've been watching, we'll obviously round that up, but it's mainly Call of Duty as always. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this episode, and please do manage to drop a like if you can. It literally takes less than a second, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.